Hare Krishna, liebe Gäste, liebe Devotees, ein großes Willkommen an unserem Sonntagsprogramm hier im Krishna Tempel Zürich. Hare Krishna, dear guests, a very big warm welcome to our Sunday program here at our Krishna Temple Zurich. Our Sunday program is as follows. We will now have a talk till 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock there will be a vegetarian feast. At 6:15 a guided mantra meditation. 7 o'clock a temple ceremony. And from 8 o'clock onwards there will be more singing of mantras, singing of kirtan. So for today's talk, we are here very happy and delighted to invite here His Grace Bhaktya Labhya Prabhu. Please invite him with a big Haribol. Many of you already know him. He's living in Ticino, and he's also a big member and also a big part of this temple. In 1986, at that time he came into contact with Krishna consciousness and also served in this temple. Especially you know him for his book distribution and Sankirtan at that time. Now he's living in Ticino. He's also sharing there and also in the Italian speaking part, sharing Krishna consciousness topics and wisdom and guiding many people in their spiritual path. And also Prabhu, he's also serving here in this temple as for the outreach department here, everything related to Sankirtan and Harinam and also sharing Krishna consciousness to the outside world. So we are very happy that Prabhu is today here to give our talk. And before we start, just request you to all come a little closer. Please move forward. There is plenty of space here. And I'm going to ask about the translation. Braucht jemand eine deutsche Übersetzung? Eine Person? Okay, dann die Übersetzung werde ich dann dort geben. There will be a German translation, so anyone who needs German translation, you can come to this corner. So I wish you a very nice Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. 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 Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jayo Gopijana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jayo Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Yamuna Tera Vandachari Yamuna Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jayo Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. How is going? Haribol? Like this is okay. You can see here, and then they can see only this. Okay. Very good. Hare Krishna to everyone. Nice to see you all here. Thank you that you came. Actually, such a nice day. every one of you could go to the lake or maybe mountains, but you decide to come here. Little hot here inside, but we'll try to bring to a transcendental level. The deity will help us. The chanting of the Maha Mantra is helping us. So the topic that I choose today is understanding the real problems of life. So first of all, someone of you is new here? First time coming? You. Welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You are from India? So many things you know already. That's fine. We don't need to introduce to you Krishna consciousness. So the other, they are familiar? Yes, very good.
I don't live here, but I keep coming. So this is my 5th visit to the temple.
Fifth visit. Okay.
I live in Bangalore, India.
In Bangalore. Okay. We have 5 temples in Bangalore.
Yes, yes, of course.
So understanding the real problems of life, you agree that there are many problems in life, and everyone has to face these problems. But first of all, we need to understand what are the real problems. Sometimes we think this is a problem, but often they are minimal problems. The real problems, the root of all problems, we will go and discover this altogether. So I made this presentation. It's quite simple. For those that are attending since long time, it could be simple. But it shows also the way how we can explain simple things to general people that they are not aware about some principle of Krishna consciousness, some basic principle. So if you go to hear what Srila Prabhupada started to speak in the early 60s when he came to New York, actually he was mainly preaching about we are not this body, we are spirit souls. Because this is one basic thing that we have to understand. Sometimes we want to go and speak about I philosophy or to share I realization of the spiritual reality. But actually if we don't understand these basic things, that we are not this body but we are spirit soul, we will not be able to understand these high topics. So this presentation shows some points that can be useful for you to use when you are sharing some information about Krishna consciousness with general peoples. So I beg you to be attentive because at the end of the presentation I will do a recap, a summary, and maybe ask to you if you can give your understand of the presentation. Okay? So like this I invite you to participate more. Because what is the use, to hear for 1 hour or 45 minutes, and then if you go out from the door and someone asks you, oh, it was very nice, what he spoke about, don't know really. So what is the use? You waste 45 minutes, 1 hour. Okay? So, all endeavors made in the field of science are to reduce the miseries of mankind and to increase its comforts. I can give you some example. A fan is used to reduce the misery of sweating. So today will be good to have a fan. In India they have everywhere, every house have many fan, because temperature is going very high. And you are suffering. It's a problem. I'm sweating. I become tired. So the fan helps to move the. So this is a solution for the problem. A grinder is used to avoid the misery of manual grinding. We look for so many facilities, these electrical tools that we are using every day, just to it seems to solve some problem. A motorcycle is used to avoid the misery of pedaling. So these are simple examples. In a similar way, advances in science, technology, and medicine are aimed at reducing the miseries and, if possible, ending them altogether. So there is a lot of advancement, especially in the medical science, and they are finding way to, it seems, to solve many problems. But actually, if one analyzes deeply, one understands that these daily problems are simply symptoms of deeper, real problems. So as I said before, we have to distinguish what are the symptoms of a problem and what is really a problem. We will find out. Underneath this dazzle, the real problems of life still persist. In our pursuit of happiness, it is imperative to understand the nature of the miseries and problems that we face. So maybe you notice that there has been, especially in the last, I would say 200 years, they invented so many facilities in order to solve problems. But other problems came. No? For example, when the computer came, and especially Microsoft, they were saying, you know, we will reduce a problem. We are using too much paper. We are cutting so many trees. So the computer will help us to reduce this problem. But actually the problem persists, is going on. Come out in other direction, but the problem go on. So it didn't really solve the problem. So what do we mean by a problem? Here is an interesting explanation. No? A simple explanation could be, a problem is to get what we not want and to not get what we want. You agree? I repeat, a problem is to get what we do not want and to not get what we want. Make some examples. A problem for a homemaker is dealing with the constant increase in grocery prices. So if one is building a house, is his job, then the one who is asking to build the house, he wants before to know the cost. Then they make this preventive, they say. They write down all the costs, they present to the person, and then, okay, say, okay, 1 million, it can be good. But then in the meantime, when he's building the house, the prices of the materials, they are changing. And often they are increasing. So the cost is increasing. It becomes a problem for the homemaker. Because at the end, if you are asking to the one who asks you to build the house, you know, more, because it costs more, he will complain. So it's a problem for him. A problem for a student is to constant threat of exams. Someone here is a student? No student anymore, okay. But every one of us has been to the school, and we know that, you know, exam is a problem. I have to study now. A problem for an employer is to deal with the increasing demands and stress at work. So most of us are working. They know that the boss, they are always asking for working more. And this creates stress. It becomes a problem. A problem for a businessman is to deal with a fluctuating economy. So these are just some examples. Being choked up in the immediate problems of life, we hardly think of the real problem that every one of us has to face it in life. However, the purpose of life is to identify and solve the real problems of life. So this means that we are every day facing so many menial and small problems. And we become so much entangled in this that we forgot what are the real problems of life. The source of all these problems. The root of all these problems. So this is the real problem. So what are the real problems of life? I think everyone now asks themselves, he's speaking about real problem, but why they are. So also here, we can make a definition first. A problem could be considered real if it is common to all. Everyone has this problem. Then it's a real problem. Nobody wants it. No? If it comes a problem and nobody wants it, then it's a problem. Nobody can avoid it. Then it's a real problem. There is a problem, but we cannot avoid this problem. Then it's a problem. Solving which all other symptomatic problems are resolved permanently. So that is good. This is a good one. No? It's a real problem. If we can solve this problem, then all the other problems are solved. Simply solving the symptoms may temporarily avoid suffering, but does not solve the problem itself. For example, a person suffering from yellow fever may show several symptoms like fever, muscle pain, loss of appetite, and nausea. If the patient receives medicine that simply treat these symptoms individually, the symptoms may subside for some time, but will reappear because the real problem, yellow fever, is still not cured. However, an expert doctor will identify the real problem by taking note of the symptoms and administer a cure for yellow fever, which will cure the symptoms along with it. So often, we just try to solve the symptoms, but we are not going to the root. And like this, we cannot really solve the problem. The problem will come out again. The problems that fulfill the above criteria of real problems are explained to be. So now we go to the real problems. Disease. Disease is a real problem. Why? No one wants any disease. So we have seen before, if no one wants, then it's a real problem. Someone here like disease? To become disease? No one. So it's confirmed. No, we don't like to become disease. There are so many different kinds of diseases, and medical science is trying to find remedies for them. But medical history shows that by the time science finds a cure for one disease, another more deadly disease comes up, as had happened in the case of cancer, syphilis, gonorrhea, AIDS, etc. So we can see, since long time they are trying to solve problem of disease. And even someone will say, yes, some disease now they are not anymore with us. That's true. but they can come back. Recently, some disease that we were thinking that they are not anymore in our society, they came back. And even if they don't come back anymore, other diseases come. And they are worse. They are even more terrible disease. Huh? So we cannot solve this problem of disease so easily. We may cure one disease for some time, but we cannot eradicate all diseases. If someone assure you, then you know in 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, we will solve the problem of disease, is a cheater. It's not possible, because disease is part of life. The pain suffered through disease is a common experience for everyone and needs no further explanation. So, I don't want to depress you. We don't go anymore in any explanation. I think it's clear. Disease is a problem, and it's a common problem. Every one of us has to deal with. Even as a devotee, it's not that we don't become sick. We also become sick. Sometimes we get fever, sometimes, right? Yes. But it's the way how you face the disease problem. We will see. So another real problem is old age. Why? No one wants to get old. A millionaire spent millions of dollars employing several doctors to find out whether he could stop getting old and remain youthful forever. But the doctors realized that even if they were to understand the mechanism of aging, they wouldn't be able to find a solution to reverse it in the millionaire's lifetime. Go on. We were all children some years ago. Later we grow to youth and eventually to old age. You notice this? That we are aging? Yes, every one of us. We were youth, then we become teenager, then we grow a little bit more, and now we are becoming old. So old age is a problem in this society. The proof is here. The cosmetic industry is flourishing only due to fear of old age. People, they fear old age. They fear to become old, and they try all way to cover that they become old. Huh? But it's a fact. We are becoming old. Not only day by day, moment by moment. I remember once a spiritual master say, if you really want to see someone, how is it, you have to wake up early in the airplane before the other they wake up. And then when they are waking up and you see them, then you really understand that age that they have. You notice this? It's incredible, especially in ladies. Then okay, they go to the bathroom and they do all the tricks. But when they wake up, wow. This is the real face. Okay. Then yet another real problem. Death. Why is a problem? No one wants to die. No one wants to die. And everyone is thinking, I will live forever. They make even songs about this, living forever. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. There was a famous song by an Italian singer in the 60s. He was going like this, he was saying, tutti vogliono andare in cielo, ma nessuno vuol morir. Nessuno vuol morir. Nessuno vuol morir. Yes, according to the Christians, no? Everyone aspires to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Huh? So it's a problem, that. No one has ever escaped it, because that is very likely the single best invention of life. Why? Because everyone has to die. You can be rich or poor, you have to die. You can live in America or in India or in China or whatever, in Switzerland, you have to die. You can be a beautiful person, you can be not so beautiful, you have to die. You can have so much knowledge or an illiterate, you have to die. Everyone has to die. So this is justice, you know. Don't make differences. Everyone has to die. Is life a change agent? It clears out the old to make way for the new. No one wants that. This is interesting. In the Garuda Purana, one of the ancient Vedic scriptures, it is mentioned that death is extremely painful, and the dying person experiences a pain that is equivalent to 40,000 scorpions biting simultaneously. I don't say. It is mentioned here in an ancient Vedic scripture, the Garuda Purana. Must be very painful. We don't remember from previous life how it was, but maybe, I don't know if you have this experience to see people dying, and often we see they are really suffering. It's a suffering condition. In nature, we see that even the tiniest creatures, display amazing abilities and technique for escaping death when their lives are threatened. Yes, it's amazing, no? How in different species of life they are trying to avoid death. For example, there are these insects, then when in order to protect themselves from birds, no? For example, they change color. If they are in a wood, they will become brown. If they are in a straw of grass, they will become green. You ever seen this? It's amazing. You know, they change color to protect themselves because they fear to die. Huh? Or, I mean, there are so many nice examples. Now don't come to my mind. But I think you have seen in nature how the different species of life, in an amazing way, they try to avoid death. But finally they have also to die. But everyone fear. Not only in the human form of life, in all species of life, everyone fear death. But death is inevitable for all living beings, and everyone has to face it one day, though it is fearsome and painful. So this is the third real problems of life. Then the fourth one is birth. And now you say, wow, birth? You know, normally parents, when a child takes birth, everyone is happy. You know, why is a problem? I'm so happy. My son, my daughter, take birth. And they're all smiling, very happy. No? But do you ever seen a child smiling when he takes birth? You ever seen? No. They are crying. They are crying. They don't like, because birth is a suffering condition, actually, when you take birth. I remember when my son took birth. I was there next to my wife, and they just gave it me. And he was screaming like anything, and he has such a anger face. He was looking me like, why you bring me here, he take birth 1 month before. No, and because he didn't want to stay anymore in this situation. It's a painful situation, actually. We can go through. Now, birth is an extremely painful experience for the living entity. For 9 long months, the human fetus lies crepit within the darkness of the womb, suffering severely, scorched by the mother's gastric fire, continually jolted by sudden movements, and feeling constant pressure from being contained in a small sac which surround him in the womb. The tight, constricting pocket forces the child's back to arch constantly like a bow. It means the position also is such a difficult position. Furthermore, hungry worms in the abdominal cavity torment the child. The child passes stool and urine in the same pocket. Such is the misery of birth. So it's such a condition to be in this sack, in this position, no? And mother is moving left and right and sitting, and and some mother take care nicely and some not so nicely. They are eating hot stuff, and then you can do nothing. You are there and just suffering. And then someone will say, yes, but he's not conscious. No? But actually, Srimad Bhagavatam says that in the 6th month or 7th month, don't remember, 6th or 7th month, the fetus is completely conscious, is aware about all what is going on. So this means he's perceiving this suffering completely. And he has to stay 2 or 3 months more in this condition. So for this, when they are coming out, they are crying. Okay, then we have seen the 4 real problems of life. So birth, disease, old age, and death. These are the real problems of life. And from these problems, they are coming all the other problems. So the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. Let's see what say Bhagavad Gita. The Gita, an ancient text on Bhakti Yoga, says that the goal of human form of life is to perceive the problems of birth, old age, disease, and death, and find out the permanent solution for them. So first of all, we have to be aware about this problem. Like we said before, birth. We really are conscious that birth is a problem? Many not, because they are thinking, I am taking birth just one time. But it's not like this. We take birth so many times. And so many times we went through this suffering. And birth means, to come here in this body and to face the different difficulties that we are facing with the body. So the Bhagavad Gita says we have to perceive the problem, become aware of the problem, conscious about this problem, and especially find the permanent solution of them. We will see what are the permanent solution. But the Gita also states that we are not this temporary body, but the eternal spirit soul. This is something very important. It's an important information that we are receiving. Actually, the body take birth. The body become disease. The body is aging, becoming old, and the body die. But we are spirit soul. We are not the body. So more we are identifying ourselves with the body, and more we will suffer due to these problems. But if we become more identified with what we are really, that we are eternal spirit soul, then we will already reduce the problem. The root cause of all problems is that the eternal, conscious, blissful soul identifies itself as the temporary, miserable, material body. So, why? Because the body is temporary. As we say, it will take birth and it will die. And in the meantime, it will become disease and it will become old. But the spirit soul, and is miserable, you say here, miserable, because it's only misery around the body. But the spirit soul is eternal. So he has not to take birth, he has not to die. So we solve already two problems. As a spirit soul, we don't need to take birth, we don't need to die. It's a good information, right? And here it is say that we are eternal, conscious, and blissful. So this means that we are happy. On the level of the spirit soul, we are blissful. So we are not facing these miseries. The Gita recommends the practice of Bhakti Yoga as the solution that can be the realization of the eternal identity of the soul. In order to realize that we are spirit soul, then the Gita advises us to practice Bhakti Yoga. Because Bhakti Yoga can raise our consciousness to the level of understanding, but not only understanding, but to realize that we are spirit soul. And we realize that we are spirit soul is if we are acting as a spirit soul. So Bhakti Yoga gives you the possibility to be engaged in a way that you will realize that you are spirit soul. And then when we are realizing gradually that we are spirit soul, gradually also we become more detached from this body. And if we become detached from the body, don't mean that we don't take care anymore of the body, but it means that we are transcending. Transcending. Because the consciousness is in another level. So then maybe one may argue, we have heard so many times this argument, the problems of birth, old age, disease and death come only once in a while. We can just ignore them and enjoy life for the remaining time. You have ever heard this? No, people that they say, anyway, sometimes I become disease and sometimes there is this problem and this other problem, but there is also enjoyment in life. So try to be more concentrated in enjoying. And then, we live one time. Life is only one time. This is a wrong information. Because we will die and take birth again. And even if it would be like this, we have a counter-argument that the scripture give. And is this. But at every moment, everyone is suffering due to at least one of the following threefold miseries. You have ever heard about the threefold miseries of life? There are three kinds of miseries of life that no one can avoid. Even if you are trying to enjoy life, you will go through these three different following threefold miseries. So now we go to see these miseries. The first one, miseries caused by one's own mind and body. They are called in Sanskrit adhyatmika klesha. So klesha means sufferings. Atma, we have heard also this morning in the class, is a Sanskrit word that means different things, but means also body and mind. So, and Adi means that they are causing. So, miseries caused by one's own mind and body. The body and the mind give rise to innumerable problems. There are so many problems related to the body. And will come more problems. More you are aging, and more problems come to the body. But the mind is creating so many subtle problems. Even medically speaking, they say different statistic, but they say that between 80 and 90% of the diseases, they are caused by the mind. Diseases that you feel physically with the body, originally they come from the mind. So the mind is creating so many problems. According to World Health Organization statistics, in the year 2000, so many years ago, in America, 19 million youths were suffering from mental-related illness. 19 millions. Now must be much more, many more, probably, no? 24 years after. So this is a statistic from World Health Organization. But listen this one now. Every day, 1,200 youths were attempting to commit suicide, and 1/10 of them were successful. This means 120 youth daily become successful in America for suicide. And all this comes from the mind. In old age, the deteriorating body gives varieties of problems. For example, once a person grows beyond 80 years, generally he can't even sit or stand without back pain. I don't know if you have experience, but I'm 61 now, and I'm feeling that more problems come with the body. And I'm taking care also of my parents. My mother she's 96, going for 97, and my father is around. And I can see every day problem come from the body. It's incredible. No? So we cannot avoid this. This adhyatmika klesha, these sufferings given by the mind and the body, we cannot avoid. Even if we try to enjoy life. Even the biggest enjoyer that has, I don't know, he was so beautiful and he has so much money and I don't know, all facility for enjoying, he has to face this suffering caused by the mind and the body. So this is one of these threefold miseries. And then the second one is, the picture already explained you, miseries caused by other living entities. They are called adibhautika klesha. Bhautika comes from bhuta, means living entities. So even if we have a healthy body and mind, other living beings may inflict miseries upon us. Even if everything is nicely arranged in our life, some other living entities, such as our enemy, boss, colleague, relative, family member, or friend, terrorist, etc., may inflict miseries upon us. If no one else, then a mosquito or a virus is sure to make our life miserable. Yes? Other living entities. Sometimes it's the neighbor. I don't know if you have neighbors. Sometimes neighbors, they create problem from nothing, just, They come and they scream. So even if we try to avoid these miseries, they are coming. Then the third one, I have to speed up because I see that time is really running. Another misery. Misery is caused by nature, adidaivika klesha. Daivika come from deva. This means they are controlled by the demigods. Demigods that they are taking care of these phenomena as floods, droughts, famine, earthquakes, hurricane, etc. No, there are so many. Are devastating calamities imposed upon us through the agency of nature. And when they come, they really create disaster. For example, a volcanic eruption at Pompeii devoured 20,000 people under a 20 feet high lava layer. It's just the volcano, just explodes and then come down this lava 20 feet high. Can you imagine? And at the feet of the volcano, there was this huge city, Pompeii, and 20,000 people died just like this, The recent tsunami, tidal wave disaster, swallowed 38,000 lives in a few minutes. When it comes a tsunami, it destroyed thousands and thousands of people. Even if these come only occasionally, they wreak havoc whenever they come. As we say, maybe they come not so often, but our day they come more often. I don't know if you notice, they come more often. Then they create great havoc. And moreover, we are being constantly tormented by the changes in the weather, such as scorching heat, freezing cold, and untimely rains. Cannot avoid these three folds of miseries. So adhyatmika, adhibhautika, adidaivika klesha, created by the mind and the body, created by the nature, and created by other living entities. So can we say that we are not constantly being harassed by these problems? No, we cannot say. They come regularly. A wise person will wonder, why should our life be ridden with the anxiety of facing and tackling on problem after another? I do not want miseries. I do not want unhappiness. Why is it being imposed upon me? When I want happiness, I want peace of mind. I want bliss. So nobody wants this, but they are coming. Why is this eluding me? Why I am not able to find happiness? Everyone is looking for happiness, but they are not finding. When have I missed it? Where did the formula go wrong? Often people they are there thinking, what's wrong? Something wrong in the formula. The real questions are, but now come the real question that we have to ask ourselves. And they are these. What is the destination of life? Where am I heading to? Is this all life is meant for? You see the pictures there, Is this all life is meant for? There is a house, a garden, Many, they are working very hard, they are paying, they build the house and the garden, but is this all life is meant for? We will be happy like this? Once I have my eyes, my house, my garden, my dog watching, then nobody come in, etc. I will find happiness? No, because the threefold miseries of life are there. Even if you have your eyes, your house, your garden, and your dog. And you will face disease, you will face old age, you will face death, and then face again birth. So, or is there a life of eternal joy that is never inhibited by suffering? Yes, there is. So if we see that in this way is not working, maybe we should look for something else. No? So these questions, they are called intelligent questions. It's the same question that Srila Sanatana Goswami, one of our main teachers, no, he asked to direct it to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he met him in Prayag. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to him, they are very intelligent questions. So these questions we should ask ourselves. And then we will receive the information to answer to these questions. So to inquire into these questions is the purpose of human form of life. This is confirmed also in the Vedanta Sutra. The beginning of Vedanta Sutra is saying, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. This means now that you get the human form of life, you should make questions, but intelligent questions. Why? Because human form of life is very rare. You notice there are so many more insects, so many more plants and trees, so many more fishes, so many more animals. Human form of life is rare. And in all form of life, everyone is acting for four main purposes: eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. In all species of life. But in the human form of life, we should not reduce our potentiality to do what they are doing also the animals and the birds and the fishes. We have a chance in the human form to ask ourselves who I am, from where I am coming, what I am supposed to do, where I am going to. These intelligence questions. A dog cannot ask himself these questions. Fish cannot do. Bird, they are just looking for where I got food, where I got sex, where I can go to sleep this night in a comfortable place. How I should do to protect myself. This is their questions. But in human life we can do other questions. So to inquire into these questions is the purpose of human form of life. So summary. Now, let's pick you. Okay? So what are the characteristics of the real problems of life? The characteristics, not the problems of life. Someone catch some point?
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it?
It's become this everyone. It's become this everyone.
Yes. It's for everyone.
If you solve it, you solve all the other problems.
Okay, very good. Very attentive. So we go through. It is common to all. Nobody wants it. Nobody can avoid it. And solving which all other symptomatic problems are resolved permanently. Then, next question. What are the real problems of life? Okay, he says in Sanskrit. Let's see if someone of the audience know in English. There are four real problems we went through, we discussed. Birth, okay. Birth, very nice. Death, who say? Okay, death. Disease. And old age. Okay? Then again, birth, disease, old age, and death. These are the four real problems of life. We may cure one disease for some time, but we cannot eradicate all disease. Even if they were to understand the mechanism of aging, they will be able to find a solution to reverse it in one's lifetime. Death is inevitable for all living beings, and everyone has to face it one day. Though it is fearsome and painful. Birth is an extremely painful experience for the living entity. Okay, then what are the threefold miseries? We have seen there are threefold miseries that no one can avoid. I know that you know. Sanskrit, okay. Okay, very good. Adhyatmika, Adidaivika, Adibhautika Klesha. English?
It's caused by the
Mind and?
by nature and by
No. Mind and?
body.
Body. Okay, very good. Another one?
Caused by other living entities.
Yes, Adibhautika Klesha, caused by other living entities. Mosquitoes. Painful.
Caused by demigods.
Caused by nature. Nature then is controlled by the demigods. It's not that demigods want us to suffer. They are just controlling. Okay? Okay, misery is caused by one's own mind and body. Adhyatmika Klesha. Misery is caused by other living entities. Adibhautika Klesha. Misery is caused by nature. Adidaivika Klesha. Okay, what is the aim of the human form of life? The aim of human form of life? Yes?
To ask oneself questions like, why do I have to suffer these miseries, and how do I get out of it?
Yes.
There's a place where no suffering is there.
Very good. Intelligent questions. Now, the goal of human form of life is to perceive the problems of birth, old age, disease and death, and find out the permanent solution for them. The Gita also states that we are not this temporary body, but the eternal spirit soul. The root cause of all problems is that the eternal conscious blissful soul identifies itself as a temporary miserable material body. Okay? Then how can we align our immediate goals with the ultimate aims of life? Practice Bhakti Yoga. Bhagavad Gita as it is advice us to practice Bhakti Yoga. The Gita recommends the practice of Bhakti Yoga as the solution that can give the realization of the eternal identity of the soul. Okay? And finally, in the age we live, in the Kali Yuga, it is especially recommended to recite the Maha Mantra all together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once more. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So it's already late. No time for question. I'm sorry. So now will be Prashadam, right? Please.
His Grace Bhaktya Labhya Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for speaking about the material problems which we have, and that the real solutions are the spiritual Krishna conscious solution. Thank you very much, Prabhu. So the next program, on the staircase you can find the vegetarian feast, but before you go out and take the prasadam, just want to make two announcements. In 2 weeks there will be a festival on Sunday. It's called the Snana Yatra. On the right hand side you see 3 deities, Lord Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. They will be bathed on this day. This is a very traditional festival happening in India, in Jagannath Puri, in Orissa, and we will also do it here. And on that festival there will be a bathing ceremony, and everyone is invited to come and actually bathe the lordships. We just ask you to come cleanly showered, and preferably in some saris and dhotis, so you can be also partake in that bathing ceremony. There will be a special program on that day. In the evening they will then go in the upstairs for some rests. So this will be in 2 weeks in Snana Yatra, and they will be then hiding. They will have a lockdown for 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks on the 7th of July, they will come out and on this very, very special festival called the Radha Yatra. This is a festival when they come out. We will then bring them to the lakeside, and on a big cart, we will then pull them along the streets so that all the people in the streets can get a darshan of them. And for this is a festival, Radha Yatra. You can find the flyers outside already. So please take them, distribute them to your friends and families, and reserve this date for this special festival and also join. So this is just some information I wanted to tell you. Now I wish you a gros appetit, and see you later. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.